So today we'll be doing the sum of the difference of two cubes. We'll start with a cubed minus 1. We'll say x cubed minus y cubed, this is your general solution, is equal to x minus y times by x squared plus xy plus y squared. Now you close your brackets. You then select what your x would be, which is an a. You then select your y, which is minus 1. The next step is to put them into the general solution above. So you'll say a minus 1, then you'll say a squared plus a times minus 1 in brackets plus minus 1 squared in brackets. We say it's a minus 1, we change our signs correctly, and we're left with this answer. Now, we need to check our answer. We first say a times a squared, then a times a, and then a times 1. And now we do the top part. So minus 1 times a squared. You get that solution there. You now have a cubed minus 2a squared plus 2a minus 1. Do you notice that in the middle we have an incorrect answer according to what we started with? So that tells us that we shouldn't have used the minus 1. This is intentional to show you that if you do make a mistake, there is a way of fixing it. Now let's do the correct method. So let's start again with our general solution, just to make sure that we never forget it. We have x cubed minus y cubed with a minus sign in the middle. That's because the sign between the x cubed and the minus 1 is a minus, so therefore you put a minus between the x cubed and the minus y cubed. You then have your general solution, x minus y, x squared plus xy. So if it's a minus on the left, your first will always be a plus. Now we say x is equal to a, and then we say y is equal to 1. Let's do the plugging in to the general solution. We have a minus 1, close your brackets together, open a new one, and then say a squared plus a times 1, which is a, plus 1 squared. Now if you look at that, you can do a check if you'd like. Let's do a check. Let's say a times a squared is a cubed, plus a times a, which is a squared, plus a times 1 squared, which is a, and then you do the same with the minus 1, and that's the answer that you get. You cancel your and group your like terms, giving you a cubed minus 1, which is exactly what you started off with. Therefore, your cubes that you factorized out are correct. And voila, easy game. There's your answer. Right, let's do another question. Let's say x cubed plus 8. Notice that this time we're using a plus in between the terms. So you are having your x, and you'll have 8. Doesn't really make sense, so let's take it down to its prime factors, being 2 cubed. And it's our x is x, and our y is 2. And now you have x minus 2. Then you have x squared plus x times by 2 plus 2 squared. You now want to sort out the equation to make it look smart. You get x minus 2, and you have x squared plus 2x plus 4. Easy game, look at that answer. Now let's check it. So you'll have x times x squared, which gives you x cubed. You then have x times 2x, which gives you 2x squared. X times 4 gives you 4x. Minus 2 times x squared gives you minus 2x squared. And there you go. You've got all the cancellations taking place there. You're left with x cubed minus 8, which means you've got the correct solution above. Right, let's do another one. It's 8t cubed plus 125p cubed. We then need to get our terms into their prime state. 8 would be 2 cubed. There's a plus sign as well, which means you would have x plus y, then x squared minus xy plus y squared. So you actually cancel out your negative sign and turn into a positive sign. And then you have your x squared, and this is now negative and not positive. So you just make sure that the number or the sign between the two terms is represented by the sign between the first two terms in your general solution. Once you've done that, you must remember that the first sign in the second bracket is opposite to that of the sign in the left-hand bracket. So let's write it down in its pure prime factors. You'd have 2 cubed for 8, and you'd have 5 cubed for 125. This is proven by saying 125 divided by 5 gives 25, divided by 5 again gives you 5, and divided by 5 one more time gives you 1, leaving you with 5 cubed. Now that we know that, we see that it's at the top over there. We say our x is equal to 2t, and our y is equal to 5p. Simple and easy. Just remember that you've got your t and your p as well as the numbers on either side. Now, let's go back to it. You've got your plus sign in between the 2 cubes, which means your plus sign needs to be in between the x and the y in the first bracket, and it will be a negative on the first sign of the second bracket. Same goes for a negative sign. If it's negative between the 2 cubes, it'll be negative between the x and y. And if it's positive, it'll be positive between x and y. That's just a general rule of thumb, and it's good to remember. We now say 2t plus 5p, close our brackets, open our new one. We say 2t in brackets squared. We then say minus, open our bracket for x, which would be 2t, close it, open a new one, 5p plus 5p in brackets squared, close off the big brackets. Let's clean it up and see how it looks. So you've got 2t plus 5p. You then open the next set of brackets, and that would be 4t squared minus 10tp plus 25p squared. That is your answer. Easy game.